as far as the export market is.
All right. I mean, that's a conversation with the minister. We'll sort of go back to that. But let me just quickly wrap up things here because we are approaching just 3 minutes away from the close. 145 points, 150 points lower on the Nifty, 18,159. So the market did break through Friday's lows, and I think the next level is the 20-day, which comes in at about 18,070 or so. Banks perhaps did a little better, largely led by PSU banks, because, I mean, a lot of PSU names, I mean, UCO Bank, Central Bank, IOB, 10, 12% kind of gains, and the index itself was up 1.5%. The large pressure came from IT names, IT index losing the most. Real estate as a pack was down. Energy was under pressure. ONGC, of course, a case in point. I mean, you look at large caps. ONGC, of course, as I said, the big loser. Adani Ports was down. Hindalco was down sharply. TCS, HDFC, and Hero MotoCorp are the losers. There were gainers, but only 3 with gains of more than 1%. BPCL, Bharti, and Axis Bank. So that's large caps for you. Broader markets, Rima.
Well, the mid-cap index goes home absolutely flat, so relative outperformer. In terms of big movers, Easy Trip locked in an upper circuit of 20% ahead of its board meeting to consider a bonus. IEX also higher. Their board will be considering a buyback. Mid-cap banks, as Prashant highlighted, UCO Bank was locked in an upper circuit of 20%, and it's a 15% gain for Bank of Maharashtra. Godavari Power and Ispat was up close to about 14% after now that the company is allowed to go ahead and export. Fertilizer made an up move towards the end of trade, and in that, Deepak Fertilizer up 8% after it signed that near 8,000 crore agreement with Aarti Industry. On the losing side, one more stock, Escorts up 7.5%, very strong guidance given by the management, and the 2 listings, 5-Star as well as Archean Chemicals, go home with pretty solid gains on day one. On the losing side, weakness seen in new age companies. Delivery, there was a large block deal of 2.5% today. The stock down 2%. Nykaa sold off in the last 10 minutes of trade, lower by close to about 4.5%. Nigel?
Well, that's right. That's sort of a day when we ended lower. The mid-cap index to goes home more or less as flat as can be. A couple of stocks poked up though in the final hour. You had Metropolis that managed to eke out some gains from being down. Ramco Cements as well ended at the high point of the day. But all in all, well, it was pretty much a sluggish trading session that we did see in today's trade. Well, on that note, though, we'll have to wrap up on this edition of Closing Bell. But you don't go anywhere. On the other side, CNBC-TV18 pays tribute to India's big bull, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. The first part of Remembering Rakesh series comes up next, where Ramesh Samani is in conversation with Mr. Jhunjhunwala's friends who discuss